Hi guys, I'm Bush Forever here, back with another video, and for today I'll be doing a new part of What If Deku had Hajime's Powers, Part 6. I really hope you guys enjoy this series, because I really somewhat enjoy this series, and think of new ideas for it. I really hope you guys do as well. But, uh, but without further ado, let's go on with the story. So, we last left off with Inko asking the girls that, what do you like about my son? Which, the first one to speak was Yui. Or, Yui. Yui said that Izuku saved her from being trapped in the in the labyrinth and actually saved her life and gave her a new life essentially and gave her a new family, which were the girls and Izuku. Which when it got to Shia, she said that Izuku helped her essentially raise or family to survive out in the wilderness and explained about the story that how Izuku trained essentially their family to survive out in the wild. And that's when he fell in love with Izuku essentially. And really do enjoy Izuku's presence, which was now Tio. Tio was really, let's just say that she essentially said that he gave her a second chance to because of wrongdoings, or should I say because of her wrongdoings that she did when she was mind controlled. Izuku gave her a chance to, redeem herself so that so that she doesn't look really look, much like offensive, or you could say more cold-blooded, even though dragons are, I think, cold-blooded, I think, because they're lizards. But with but with that Izuku but with that Tio essentially explains to Mama Midoriya or Inko how Izuku essentially gave her a second chance to prove herself. Next was you. Next was Mew. Mew was essentially the reason that she loves Izuku so much is because she explains that she is her father figure. Yeah, her really really loving father figure, and she explains that when she was lost and I guess you could say going through the sewers, and Izuku actually saved her and helped her to to have a to have a new family and stuff, because even though they were, let's just say that they were separated, Izuku still Izuku still loved and cherished Miu very much so. Which for let's just say, which for the other girls, I this goes into the manga territory, so I haven't read the manga, but they explain how they fell in love with Izuku, which Inko accepts this and stuff. Inko accepts this, and if you might be wondering why I'm not saying about Momo or Mina, well, they are, let's just say, they're at their own houses, so Izuku isn't, that he, so Mama Midoriya isn't, asking them or confronting them about how they love their son, or how they love her son. Sorry, but yeah. After that, essentially, Izuku went to his room and actually went grabbed the girls as well after they are done talking to Mama Midoriya or Inko. When they got to Izuku's room, though, he forgot that he was an All Might fanboy, which now he isn't really an All Might fanboy nowadays, because Izuku really doesn't really see All Might as, a hero symbol, because he noticed that even through hard work, you can essentially become the new symbol of peace. And Izuku really think, or you could say thought about this very well, that and Izuku thinks that All Might is just an equal to him. Not really, like Bakugo thinking like he respects All Might because of his achievements and stuff, but no, he doesn't fanboy out. He thinks of All Might as an equal, not really as a higher being for example a god. Izuku thinks that you're just a human being to me. If you defeat me, then I will give you more respect and maybe cherish your kindness to me. But until then, you are just a human being to me. I don't. He doesn't. I don't care if you have this mighty power. If you can't beat me, you're you're essentially just equal, or you're just equal to me. Essentially, just that. Which Izuku just says that to essentially that's Izuku's reason of why not liking or not liking not being a fanboy anymore of All Might. Which when the girls came in, they start asking Izuku about how that he has a lot of All Might merch, which Izuku really regrets and stuff. Which Izuku just let's just say that he sold it on eBay and actually got because of All Might being the symbol of peace. A lot of collectors of let's just say memorabilia of him are really, and I mean really stoked about this, and actually got a good bargain out of Izuku. Actually, Izuku got the good bargain out of them, which was when Izuku bought it, for example, for the limited edition All Might figurines, about $100 to $150, give or take, for the limited editions one. Which I guess through time it would grow even more. Which Izuku got from one of the collectors, I guess about a quarter of a million, I guess, or $250,000 for one of the limited edition All My figurines. So as all in all, Izuku got a little a little over $1 trillion. Yeah, a trillion, because I I don't remember, but Izuku has a lot of All My figurines, a lot, and I mean really a lot. Which he stumbles upon while collecting all of them. He stumbles upon the notebooks that he has, the notebooks of heroes and stuff, all their weaknesses, quirks. Which Izuku had a flashback that he really used to be a bookworm, and essentially write weaknesses of them to how to be a hero, or how to improve them, essentially, if ever he was going to be what was it called again, a sidekick. Which, yeah, essentially Izuku still grimaces about that and says to himself that I really am a analyzing machine. I really analyze them from one look, and essentially I look everything at them, the physique to power to play to fighting style. it really is it really is really funny that this was the old me, really intuitive, very, let's just say, seeking for power and stuff, or strength, because Izuku doesn't have one before. So Izuku essentially uses mind than his brawn. He uses brain. He uses brain, not his brawn, essentially. So yeah, eventually Izuku, when they were going to sleep, the bed was cramped, and I mean really cramped. Which Izuku just says, "Wow, man, the bed is cramped." Which, yeah, I could tell the bed is cramped as heck. Which Izuku just says that, well, I guess we should buy a new house, I guess, than live in this apartment. Which Izuku, which Izuku was going to talk to his mother about this. Which eventually they sleep. Next day, on the dinner table, which Inko was done cooking breakfast, Izuku asked his mother, "Mom, can we move out and find a new place to call home?" Which Inko was surprised by this and asked, "Why? Why do you want to leave, Izuku? You know that we don't have enough money." But Izuku just says, "Money isn't a problem, Mom. I can really easily have get money. Essentially, I just it's just really easy. And if your work is very very hard, I can help you with that, Mom. I will open up a store if you need so that you don't really don't really overexert yourself, because it really isn't good for your health, Mom. I know I shouldn't talk about people's age and stuff, but you're getting old, but you're you're not getting more younger, and it's a little bit worrying that you still worry about me and would go to extreme lengths just to find me. I am really worried about your health, Mom. Even though you love me so much, I love you as well. So please take care of yourself." Which this was an eye-opening moment for Inko, which she essentially was, looking was tearing up about how Izuku really, loves her mother and stuff. Which Izuku just says, "It's no, Mom, it's no problem. I am your son. It's my job to worry about you. It's really my own job to look after you, but you're still looking after me. And it really pains me to see you, suffer so much just for for my happiness." Which Inko just hugs Izuku, and Izuku just says, "It's okay, Mom. I know how hard it is without, how hard it was when I was quirkless. Every look that the other people gave you was really resentful, and the only people that looked you as normal was Aunt Mitsuki and Uncle Misaro. I really am sorry for what 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 our past has given you. I'm really sorry for that, Mom." Which Inko just says, "No, no, honey, it's fine. Just it's just that you are my baby boy still. Even though you say that you're all grown up, you're still gonna be my baby boy. You're still gonna be my little Izuku. Remember that." Which essentially, because after the sports festival, they gave them about a 2 day break so that their body would be, let's just say, manageable because of the sports festival. Yeah, manageable because of the damage that they dealt essentially. Which through the 2 days, Izuku started finding a bigger home. Which Izuku found a home that is actually a great price, has a swimming pool and a lot of, let's just say, it has a lot, and I mean a lot of secret compartments. It's not like a castle or anything, but Izuku thought of it as a base of operations. He and if he and the girls are out patrolling and stuff, he's gonna use it as his base of operations. Like, for example, a bat cave, like that. So essentially, he found a mansion, essentially, and like Bruce Banner, or not Bruce Banner, Bruce Wayne, or AKA Batman. He has a lot of vehicles. Essentially, he's essentially just like Batman, to be fair. Or yeah, he essentially is just like Batman. Which within those 2 days, as I said, he bought the house, as well as he bought a, let's just say, a store nearby. eh, not really near not really really nearby. I mean by nearby is really close yet far enough that it's not too dangerous for the house that they would be targeted immediately or robbed. So Izuku essentially made a store for Inko, which this is a store of essentially like a jewelry store, because Izuku explained to Inko of the stories of how he made essentially money when he was out in the other world, which it was very interesting. He actually sell excluding the guilds and stuff, or the bounties that he hunted. He actually created jewelry, and I mean really good jewelry. And sometimes, if they wanted to, he imbued it with fire magic, water magic, and stuff, which he enchanted it and stuff. So yeah, and Inko essentially became a shop owner this time, and for a for when Izuku essentially told or said this in social media that he is opening a new store, a jewelry store. Every pro hero essentially, or every fashionista was let's just say fashionista or fashion model or designer went to Izuku's shop to buy some jewelry. And Izuku essentially advertised that this is crafted, handmade. Essentially, Izuku made this by hand, not through machine. No, 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 by hand. He found the diamonds. Obviously, he found the diamonds obviously from the earth, but he essentially got the other materials by himself, or he made the base by himself, which he sold a lot of rings, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and let's just say amulets as well, and somewhat tiaras. Yeah, tiaras as well. If a lot of some princesses of a lot of in the world went to Izuku's house, and or not house, Izuku's shop, and bought a tiara in the shop, which Izuku got a picture of from the queen, or should I say, not from the queen, from the princesses slash queen that he received as customers, and actually put it on the wall, and actually let them sign it so that it would be legitimate. Which there are a lot of memorabilia from basketball players to volleyball players, soccer players, as well as kings and queens that went to Izuku's shop, or should I say Izuku's shop, which essentially it was fast growing, you could say. Which, yeah, this was just within a 2 days. By the way, this was just within 2 days, and it's really fast growing. And I mean, Izuku is planning to make a new location elsewhere, which he doesn't know where yet, but he will eventually make one. Which they got a lot of money about because of this, and Izuku invests in stock market as well. So that's one thing that Izuku has, that he is actually quite a genius about, is reading analytics, which is, by the way, it's a gamble sometimes. Yeah, it's a real gamble, because sometimes it would just drastically drop without hesitation. So yeah, and yeah, essentially that. Which Inko, when Izuku isn't when Izuku wasn't around, or has to do something, Inko was mainly in the shop, you know, make selling stuff, and some of his wives as well are there, like Liliana as well as Remia. are helping Inko with the shop. So when Izuku the next day, when Izuku went back to school, Aizawa essentially explains about the hero internships, essentially, which Izuku was a little bit curious of who or yeah who are is he going to pick as the hero internship, which Nezu, let's just say Nezu called Izuku in the PA and says him to uh, go to the principal's office, which Izuku obliges and was wondering what is happening. Which when Izuku got there, well, Nezu explains about how he doesn't need to go into internships because by the vouch and meeting that they had before this or within the 2 weeks, All Might and Aizawa essentially told them everything that he knows, that they know about how powerful or how essentially how genius Izuku is in combat as well as training, which this got them really surprised, and I mean really surprised, and essentially gave him a, let's just say, uh not really a permanent hero license, but a trial, not a trial, a, let's just say he got a hero license, but not really the hero license that you typically get for heroes, but he can still do hero work without any hesitation to use his quirk, which Izuku was a little bit surprised that Aizawa and All Might vouched for him, which he thanked them very much and actually accepts it. And when he got back, everybody asked what was, what did Principal Nezu ask about Izuku, which Izuku says that, oh, Nezu just wanted me to, be a hero for the internship because All Might All Might and Aizawa vouched for my, experience, which everybody was a little bit surprised except for Bakugo, Mina, and Momo because they know how powerful Izuku is and how genius he is in strategizing as well as observing other people, which in heroes you need that, which they were a little bit surprised by this. And within the which within those minutes everybody start asking Izuku, or yeah, asking Izuku to be their, let's just say, to be their internship partner, which Izuku declines because first of all he doesn't have a, yes, he has a hero license, but he doesn't have a agency, so it doesn't count, which I think that doesn't count, which throughout the Izuku's hero, or it's an internship, Izuku essentially was patrolling um, around the city as well as going to different cities every day just to check, and he basically left, let's just say, a bot. You could say like CCTV cameras that he can use, and which after every patrol, when he went back home, Izuku essentially made a bat computer, you could say, but I'm just gonna call it Kunami or Tsunami, you could say Tsunami. It's Japanese for 1000. I think it was 1000 wisdom, or yeah, 1000 wisdom or intelligence, which essentially it was like an AI, like Friday, you could say, in the Marvel universe, which yeah, essentially Izuku was patrolling as well as monitoring the police. Yes, he was as well as monitoring the police, which one of the police was about to beat up a civilian, and I mean this police was, you know, the baddest of the bad, corrupted police, which Izuku interfered, and the cop just says that, hey, what are you doing? Which Izuku just, what? You're about to hurt this innocent man. And the cop goes on a rant that he was a murderer and stuff. Izuku just says, no, he isn't. I run a bio check on him, and he isn't a murderer. You're the murderer over here. You have 50, I guess, you have about 50 dead bodies, 50 innocent people that you killed, give or take. Your name is random cop name. Sorry about that. I don't want to use my brain cells anymore. Which, yeah. Which Izuku essentially just, and I mean just shoots the guy, and I really do mean shoot the guy. Shoot the guy in the legs, I mean, but which doesn't, really, make him, bleed out so much. Which he said to the innocent guy that go on, you're free to go. Which the guy thanked him very much because he thought he was going to die and stuff. And Izuku interrogated this guy of what the police is doing or what the government was doing, because this officer was, not, he wasn't a PO1. He was essentially a captain, you could say, or a sergeant, essentially. Which he was high ranking, so he has a lot of connections. And he essentially was explaining everything that the police was doing, and because he feared for his life, because remember this, any person that is fearing for their lives will tell you everything, but there are special type of people that conceal their emotions in these kinds of situations, which are really geniuses to say that they don't want to put harm on their people, which those are the people that you have to look for or befriend. And sorry for the rant, but yeah. Which Izuku continues and essentially just tortures the guy because he doesn't care. Really, to be fair, he doesn't care. This is a dirty cop. He doesn't care of if he will kill this guy. He doesn't care because, as I said, he's a dirty cop. And as I mean by dirty cop are corrupted people that essentially just kill innocent people, do drugs, which don't do drugs by the way, uh, and essentially do bad things, and I mean do bad things, which yeah, which after that, Izuku essentially, after the interrogation, Izuku receives a lot of information about the government that essentially the heroes on the outside were just facades. Yeah, a facade, which that the government is using to, let's just say, manipulate the back scenes of, yeah, the back scenes vaccines now the back of the scenes of the hero society. So Izuku essentially needs to find a person that was once a hero, and I mean once a hero, and maybe got turned in. One good example of this is the pro hero Hawks. That's one good example. Which he storms the day. He asks, Tsunami or Konami that what what are the possible subjects that he can ask that are are under the government's, or had been dealt with by the government or been put to jail and stuff. Which Konami said that there are two people that he knows. This the first person. The name is Hawks, the pro hero Hawks, and the second hero, or the second person, was the former pro hero Lady Nagant, which Izuku was surprised because he hasn't heard Lady Nagant for a while, which, and I mean really really while. And essentially, yeah. But before he could continue, alarms start to sound within Izuku's base, which Izuku asks Konami of what is happening, where's the alarm coming from, which Konami explains that there's an attack on Hosu City, which Izuku's eyes widen at this because that's where the hero killer is located, as well as where Ida is located, which Izuku put two and two together and had a not essentially a horrified face, but a worried face that Ida might kill Stain, which obviously he can't. But with his worrying face, on screen, the screen fades to black, and that's gonna be the end of the story for now. Sorry guys if it's a little bit short, or yeah, a little bit short and a lot of fillers of what happened. I'm really sorry, but I really hope you enjoyed the series. Like I always say, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye.